Hey everyone, I'm back to do my movie review for Crazy Rich Asians. I uploaded a book review a couple days ago and then I said I was going to do this the next day, but it's the next day after the next day, so I'm doing it now. I just finished filming a video for the last BTS album and music video that came out, so I'm still reeling off of that a little bit, but this video is going to be my review about the Crazy Rich Asians movie. So I'm gonna try and not make this 30 minutes long because that's how long my book review was, but I just want to start off by saying that they just announced that they're going to be making the sequel movie. Don't know when that's going to come out, hopefully next year because I do not want to wait that long, but the sequel is happening. They already got the director for it. It's happening. It's in motion, and I'm extremely excited. I'm in the middle of reading China Rich Girlfriend right now, and I really like it so far. I'm like about 100 and something pages in. I really like it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do this all over again next year, hopefully. Alright, so let's just get into the review. As we all know, this is the very first full Asian casted film in the last 25 years. Long time coming, long time due, or long time overdue. And so, I feel like everything that's been said about that has already kind of been said, so I don't really know what else to add to the conversation in regards to that. I am obviously not Asian, so I am not going to be talking about this from the perspective of an Asian American person. So I'm kind of watching this and reviewing it from like my own perspective. Straight off the bat, I really loved the movie. I thought that everybody did a really great job with it. There were definitely some things that I liked in the movie better than I liked in the book, and vice versa. I'm going to talk about those in this video. And whenever I do my movie reviews that especially were based on a book, I always talk about that. And when I talk about the differences and what I like and what I dislike, it's not bashing on either one. It's just like that I liked how they progressed the story in one thing over the other, and I just like kind of how the book and the movie kind of play off of each other like that, and I find it very interesting. So yeah, I was watching, I have my notes on the side here, which is why I keep looking over here, and I also messed up my shoulder. Don't know what it did, but it hurts. Anyways, Constance said something. I was watching an interview, like this 30-minute long video, and Constance said something that was very true. She said when a movie like this is made and it is done right, then there will be more made of them, because Hollywood is like, if in any sense Hollywood is like, oh look, this type of movie was a success and it made money, so at least in that sense they can be like, hey, let's make more of these movies, because Wonder Woman, Black Panther, Love, Simon, they've all broken the box office, and it really goes to show what these kinds of movies with diversity can do in Hollywood, because those movies represent the majority of people, you know? So yeah, 2018 has just been such a good year for representation and like in what's been coming out so far. So far, I know it hasn't covered everything because that's really kind of impossible to do in one book, one movie, or even two books, two movies. So I'm just so happy with all the representation that has been happening, like at least in the movie world this year. But and it just makes me feel so hopeful and for the future, and like we are going in the right path, which is sad to say in 2018, but I mean we're still here, and so we need to keep moving forward. But yeah, so I will actually link that interview down below because I thought it was really good. And all of like the main people were in it. So Constance and Henry and all of those people. Alright, so Crazy Rich Asians. If you watched it, if you read the book, you obviously know that it is a kind of romantic comedy. Nick Young takes his girlfriend to Singapore to meet his family and to go to his best friend's wedding. And while he's there, he's going to introduce her to all of his family and get all that done. But he doesn't realize that they are going to be really mean to her and not really accept her and do everything that they can to get her away from Nick. And pretty cliche rom-com. But like I said in my book review, what made it special was the fact that it was the cast and the culture of the people that were in it, and that is what made it special, and that is what brought it to another level. So can we just talk about the cast for a second, because I was absolutely in love with everybody that was in this movie. So Constance Wu played the character Rachel, and I just thought she was fantastic. I've seen her in Fresh Off the Boat. I haven't finished that series yet, but I really like her in that, and so her character in this movie is a completely different character, and I just thought she was wonderful. I think she's quite a beautiful woman, and she did a really good job in her role. I thought she was great. Henry Golding played Nick Young. So apparently this dude was on The Bachelorette. I don't watch those shows because I find them very annoying, but apparently he was on there, and this was his very first like acting gig that he's ever done, and the fact that his very first one was like this is amazing, and major kudos to him. He's coming out in another movie called think it's called A Simple Plan with it's called A Simple Plan with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. I love Blake Lively. I think she's like such a gorgeous woman and I just really like her. But anyways, that's the other movie that is going to come out soon, which I want to watch mostly because of him and Blake Lively, not even gonna lie. I just think he's such a beautiful man. Like, he's such a good looking dude. He encapsulated, I'm like slurring my words. He encapsulated the character of Nick so well, and I absolutely loved what he did with his character. Alright, then Michelle Yeoh played Eleanor Young. Gemma Chan played Astrid, who was fantastic. I think she is so gorgeous, and she is another actress who just encapsulated her character so well. She did such a good job as Astrid. Awkwafina was Pig Lynch. She was really funny. Henry Shum Jr. was Charlie, who came out in like 2 seconds at the end of the movie. Gorgeous. I love him. We all know. Well, if you watch this and you watch my Shadowhunters video, you already know how much I love Harry Shum Jr. He is, I adore him. Ken Jeong played the Piglin's father. He was fantastic. I absolutely loved him. And then the rest of these actors, I know Nick Santos, who is Oliver. I know that actor, but like the rest of them were kind of new to me. Like, I think I've seen them, but I just never really seen them. Also, can we just talk about the guy that played Colin Koo, Mr. Chris Pang? Gorgeous man. I mean, just a gorgeous man. So, based on the actors, I really love all the actors that they chose to play all these characters. I thought they were just beautiful, and they did a great job. So I really thought the beginning of the movie was really great. So in the beginning of the book, Nick and Rachel are out to eat, and they, what was it, Radio Asian 1 or something like that? That was so funny, like a Sandra character. So she sees them, and so she like tells everybody in New York, Singapore, everyone, like that he's dating somebody, and so but a rumor gets to Eleanor, his mom, really quickly. And I just love the way the movie did that. So it was like going here to there, and Kevin Kwan, the author, he made a slight appearance in that part, which I thought was really funny. I noticed him. So I just thought that was really funny how they did that and how they portrayed that, because in the book it's like, oh, she told so-and-so and so-and-so. And the movie, it was just funny to see how they actually did it. And then Nick is still in that restaurant with Rachel, and he gets a call from his mom. Before I continue, let's just talk about Miss Eleanor Young in the movie. The dad, he has a dad, but he like never showed up in the movie, I don't think. Like, he never did. But Michelle did such a good job playing her. She is such a amazing actress. She's been in the game for a long time. She knows the game, and she was just wonderful. And I will say that I liked Eleanor's character in the movie more than I did in the book. And the reason for this is because when I was reading the book, I was expecting this like older matriarch of the family to be aggressive and to be like intimidating. And in the book, she was just really passive aggressive and really two-faced. She was like another one of those girls, like another Francesca. But in the book, she was really intimidating, and she was really like aggressive to your face. She wasn't like nice to you and then saying stuff on the side. She was just like in your face and like, I don't know, just like mean. Like, there were the parts in the movie that I was really hoping were in the book. So when she actually goes to talk to Rachel and she's like, you'll never be good enough for my son and all that stuff, she never does that in the book. She just kind of like bombards Rachel with all that information at the end of the book. But in the movie, she straight up tells her to her face, she's like, you're never gonna be enough, and just all that mean stuff. And so I like that, not because like it was nice to watch or that was cool, but because I was expecting Eleanor's character to be a lot more aggressive and outwardly mean, and she was in the movie, and I enjoyed watching that. Alright, let's talk about another thing that I liked in the movie better than I liked in the book, and this was not, well, kind of Astrid's character. Gemma Chan played, is it Gemma or Gemma? I want to say, I'm pretty sure it's Gemma. But she did such a good job playing Astrid's character. Astrid has a little bit of a bigger part in the book because of the fact that the book is told in many different perspectives. But Astrid did have a significant part in the movie, which I really loved. Like, especially when they were introducing her character in the beginning, and then she does that really nice thing. She's talking to the little girl about her rabbit. That was really cute, and that was a good way to like show everybody what her character is about. But let's just fast forward a little bit to the end with her whole thing with Michael. So in the book, he's cheating on her, and she is like, okay, we're gonna get through this. But he's like, no, I don't want to get through this. But it turns out in the book that he just wanted her to think that he was cheating on her. In the movie, they never really cover that, so they make it seem that he was just actually cheating on her. And so by the end of the, well, in the book, she like still wants to be with him and she still wants to make it work, and then Charlotte's character comes in and kind of helps her through that. But in the movie, Astrid is a little bit more hardcore. So she's like, okay, you cheated on me, this is a done deal. And that one scene, everybody erupted in applause, like including me and my mom, when she did that scene where she goes to talk to Michael, and she's like, okay, well, this happened. Me and my son are going to leave. You paid for this house because you felt the need to pay for this house because you needed to feel like a man to do so. She's like, I can't make you feel like a man. So if this is any kind of, if you feel superior in any kind of way, that's basically that's your bad. Like, if I can't change the way you feel. She's like, Cassian, their son, she's like, he will see you whenever he is able to see you. Have a good life. I'm moving on. And I was just like, yo, that was amazing. But in the book, she still wants to be with him. But in the movie, she's kind of like, she cut ties with him already. She's like, no, enough. I don't know if it was worse, like that, if he actually cheated on her, or the fact that he just wanted her to think that he cheated on her. Like, which one is worse? Like, one is actually inflicting the damage with something that actually happened, but the other one is inflicting the same damage with like a lie. It's like, what's worse? So Charlie, I'm talking really fast, but Charlie's character comes in for like half a second in the movie, and I was like very excited because Harrison Jr., love him to bits. And so now that they're making the sequel, he's going to be in the sequel a lot more, and I'm so excited about that. But yeah, basically I just really loved how they handled that whole situation with Astrid and Michael in the movie better, because it made her, I don't know, it just made it made more sense to me, because I remember reading the book, the first book last week, and so she's like that she still loves him, she still wants to be with him, and I'm like, girl, why? Like, he obviously feels inferior, I don't know if I said that right earlier. He feels inferior to you because you have more money than him, you have more property than him, and he told her, he's like, since the day one of us being married, I wasn't happy. And I'm like, then why didn't you say anything? Like, that makes no sense to me. So I just really like how they handled it in the movie, where she was like, really? This is how it is? Fine. And then she makes her decisions, and that was just perfect. Oh, and then I have a quick little thing. That scene where he like tells her that he cheated on her, or where she kind of brings it up to him when they're in the car going to the coup wedding, and Gemma, the actress, she started crying, and I really like it in movies when the actors kind of ugly cry, just like when they're looking really sad and there's like just a single tear going down their face or whatever. It doesn't seem as real to me. So the fact that Gemma kind of like, she made a face and she looked very, very upset when she was talking to him, I just really like that scene a lot, not because it was easy to watch, but because of her acting in that scene. I thought she did a really nice job. And then right after that, let's get into the wedding. But this is like the one thing that I was most excited to see in this entire movie, was that wedding. It already looked amazing from the trailer, and I was so excited. So in the movie, I'm like getting goosebumps because it was so cool. So Araminta was gorgeous. Colin looked amazing. The church was amazing. I don't think this was in the book, but when they talked about the aisle and how it like it fills with water and how she went in, I don't really know what was on her leg. It was some kind of like foil design on her leg, but she was barefoot and she stepped into the water and then just like floated down the aisle, and she looked so gorgeous. I was literally watching that scene with such awe because it was so pretty. I forgot to look it up, but the girl that was in the movie and she was singing the song, what was it? Oh, so I guess her name is where did it go? Kina Grannis is, I think, how you pronounce her name, but she sang Can't Help Falling in Love, and chills, you guys. Like, listen, is that not just like the most beautiful voice? Oh, I loved it. Adored her voice. I loved that scene. It was such a perfect song for the occasion, and then that was the only music in the entire scene of the actual wedding. There were some parts of it that were completely silent, and I thought that that made such an impact too. Oh my god. And then the one part that I like almost cried, because in the book they kind of surpassed the wedding and then that one party with the grandma in the beginning. Those scenes don't have like, they didn't have as big of an impact in the book as they kind of did in the movie. I mean, which was fine. It was fine for each separate thing. But in the book, Nick is Colin's best man, and Rachel is sitting in the in the aisles. And there's a part in the book where he looks at her and he mouths to her, he's like, oh, that I love you. And she like sees that, and they put it in the movie, and it was just so perfect. And like, for the romantic side of me, I was like, I'm literally about to cry. What is this? Okay, now let's talk about the one thing that I liked in the book more than I liked in the movie. So in the book, when they actually when the whole thing goes down with Eleanor and Nick's grandmother, when they confront Rachel and Nick and tell her like she's been lying to us, her dad's not dead, yada yada, all that stuff. So in the movie, they drop that bomb at the Koo wedding, and so this woman comes up to the two of them and they're like, oh, your mom wants to talk to you. So they go in the back of the wedding and they kind of drop the bomb on them there, and they tell them all that. But in the book, the whole thing goes down where Rachel finally tells Nick everything that's been going on, with all the mean things all the girls have been saying about her, with everything that was happening, like the whole fish situation and how all that went down. So she finally tells him. He gets really upset. He's like, you know what, we're gonna go away. And so he decides to propose to her then and there, instead of like a few months down the line when he was thinking of doing it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna propose to her here, it's gonna be super romantic and all that good stuff. So they get to the property, and then he sees his grandma and his mom there, and then that's when they do all that. They tell Rachel everything, and it's in that way where they interfere with his proposal in order to tell them that. And I thought that had more of an impact, and that was like a meaner way to do it than they did in the movie. And so I just preferred that, and I liked it a little bit more. I completely understand why they made the wedding and then that first party with his grandma such a big deal, because like visually that would have been, it was like the big parts in the movie, and like watching it for a movie, like visually, like I said, it just made more sense for them to do it there instead of like how it was in the books. And with the book, there's just more pages, there's more room, there's more wiggle room for like things to happen. And so I really like how how the book and the movie portrayed those scenes, but I just preferred it in the book. I thought it had more of an impact and was just a lot meaner for Rachel. But yeah, so in the movie, they also left out that little tidbit that Rachel's dad was in prison. In the movie, they were just like, oh yeah, that, what's it called? Her mom, something about the dad, but not including the part about that he was in jail. And so I like how that went down in the movie, where her mom, where she like went to Paiklin's house, because in the book she does that, she goes to Paiklin's house and she's just like very depressed and she needs a moment. And so Paiklin ends up, or not Paiklin, but Nick ends up bringing her mom to Singapore to like help her out because she doesn't want to talk to Nick. And I felt so bad for Nick. And so I kind of like how that went down in the movie better, because in the book she's like, I need to go talk to my dad, I'm already in Asia, I'm gonna go do this. And then the mom, she comes and kind of like calms her down. But in the movie she doesn't do that, she just talks to her mom. And in the book it kind of ends there, where like her mom talks to her, and then her and her mom and Paiklin and Nick all go to like some restaurant. That's the end of the book. But in the movie they go a little bit farther than that. And so in the book, Nick doesn't ever actually propose to Rachel, and in the movie he does it like 3 times. And so I didn't love that, especially since we're gonna get a sequel. I don't know why they wouldn't just wait a little bit for the sequel. I mean, I guess it makes sense. So in the movie it's like, oh, they're engaged now, so go and watch the wedding in the next movie. So that makes sense, I do understand that, but I didn't think he had to propose like 3 times. So yeah, in the movie, what's it called? He proposes to her and she accepts. And well, I thought it was really cute in the movie how he did it, because in the book he actually takes her to that place. He actually makes his vision happen. But in the book, or in the movie, he's at the airport, or literally in the plane with her, and he's like, oh, this is how I would have proposed to you. But like what he says in the movie is like what he actually does in the book and doesn't get a chance to do. So I really like that parallel. I thought that was really cute. And then they get engaged on the plane, and it's such a cliche rom-com, and I loved every minute of it. It ends with them having that whole party at the end of the movie. And what's it called? Nick's mom is there at the party, but she kind of gives her like a look, and so that's going to be dealt with more in the next movie, I imagine. So I'm very, very excited to see, well, to finish the second book in the trilogy, first of all, but also to see how they're going to interpret all that in the movie as well. I'm very excited to see more of my favorite characters, because I finished the book in like 3 or 4 days. That is a 522-page book or something like that, and I finished it in a few days, and that's like a miracle for me, because I am a slow reader. It doesn't happen too often. But I finished it quick, and I'm getting through the next one pretty quick. I think I'm only on page like 1 something, but I want to finish that as quick as possible. And yeah, I'm very excited. I have found a new favorite book, a new favorite trilogy, and I just loved everything about it. And I know it's not perfect, and it's not a representation of all Asian people, and what's it called, but I really think what Kevin Kwan did, like, there are some things in the book that aren't cool, that these people, like that Nick's side of his family and all of those people, that they say and that they do, and they're not correct and they shouldn't be right. But I don't think Kevin Kwan wrote those in for that reason. He put those in because that's the reality. We are supposed to be on the side of like Nick and Rachel, the ones who are a little bit more level-headed, more humble, better people. And I think that was the purpose of why he wrote, or like why some of the things were said in the book and whatnot. But yeah, for what it is, I thought the book was wonderful. I thought the movie was wonderful. I thought everybody involved with the movie did such a great job in bringing the book to life, and all the actors did such a good job, and their characters, all such beautiful people. But yeah, I thought the movie was great. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. I also have a book review that I posted a couple days ago about the book, and I am also about to post a reaction video for BTS. But anyways, this was my review for Crazy Rich Asians, the movie. I am so excited for the next book to come out, hopefully next year. I'm so excited to see a lot more of Mr. Harry Shum Jr. in this, because, like, for obvious reasons. But I'm excited to see where, in the book and in the movie, where the story for these characters progress and what is gonna happen. But yeah, I believe those were all my thoughts for the movie. Please let me know what you thought down in the comments. I just said that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.